Is this thing on? What the heck was that?
I hear you.
All right, let me know in the chat if you guys are watching. I think we've been doing this for years. Never had that issue.
Never.
That is a new. I've had my internet crap out before, but not a full on, whatever that was.
It's all good. It's all good.
I think we're on.
We'll
have to wait for the chat to catch up here.
That was a great 3 minutes.
Hey, it's not the first time I've heard that.
I love it. Oh, look at Brian, New York. So,
all right, Phil says we're back.
Yeah, Brian in New York. What did you? Net Zero, or who was the internet company you mentioned? So put that in again. Brian from New York.
Hey, come on. No, it wasn't an internet thing because me and Tim, it still worked for us. I think it was a YouTube thing.
Yeah, it's YouTube.
Let's blame YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Tim
got off on a tangent and died. Hey, life's good.
Yeah, I blame you for the tangent.
All right.
I'm gonna have to figure out some of this creative editing and whatnot.
We'll do it. Yeah. Anyone care to comment on the BK? Yeah, we started that, but jump on your media narrative.
Okay, yeah. I feel like there has been a media shift, and for folks who are watching a replay of this, we talked for like 3 minutes, and then something happened in the stream. The stream shut down, so that's you didn't miss a whole lot. I just in seeing and scrolling Twitter, it's nothing but hating on Brian Kelly and loving on Notre Dame. Slam your hand on the table. Maybe that's what happened to me. I've slammed on the table a couple times, Brian Kelly style, on my internet. So I don't know. I'm still blaming YouTube. But that was just an observation. Just scrolling the Twitter sphere. It's a lot of Brian Kelly hate, but that's not the important part here. It's everyone really loved this Marcus Freeman in the tunnel. People absolutely ate this up. And Freeman talked about it. This was something that he just kind of did in the moment. Like he really wanted to pump up his guys. Yep. And this Notre Dame's winning. I feel like they're a little bit of like a darling right now nationally. Like people are really excited about Notre Dame. Is anyone with me on that? I don't know.
Oh, I love it. I mean, heck, I brought it up on our live show Saturday. I noticed it in kickoff. I was getting hyped at home, getting ready to start watching the game and charting 1,000 plays. And I noticed that right away in the corner, and no one on the TV was even really talking about it. And then boom, it just blew up. And I think sometimes I started thinking about right away is, I mean, let's not forget this guy was an all Big Ten linebacker at Ohio State. So he knows how to get his mind ready to go crazy for 60 minutes and play elite big time football. I think those are some of the things we've been talking about since he's arrived at Notre Dame, is hopefully some of that stuff he learned from Fickle, learned from Urban Meyer learned from Holtz, all trickles down to him. Going back to, I know Dabo is always a weird topic for everyone, but it still holds true. Jack Swarbrick hired him for the Dabo effect of a charismatic guy who could recruit and just build a team. And is that going to work for Jack Swarbrick? Is that going to be the ultimate thing? And roll from there of just using that Dabo model of just taking a program, recruiting his butt off, boom, go win some titles once this thing gets rocking. So we'll see how that rolls. But it was awesome. And like I said, you go on Twitter and just type in Kyle Field, and the amount of videos are electric. So whoever was there, if anyone was there in the chat, man, what an atmosphere. What an atmosphere. It really is a great atmosphere.
So in our first run through at this, that 3-minute show, you showed us your stack of papers. Can you show us that again?
I got them all over the table.
Okay. All right. No, it's fine. It's fine. You have a stack of papers. How many times have you rewatched?
Well, I go slow, so it's really just once, but I watch every play multiple. Yeah,
okay, so at least 3-4 times then.
Yeah. I mean,
you watch every play 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, especially with the O-line. I literally will watch every O-lineman and chart those things.
Right.
And
so
and I'm gonna, especially with Anthony Knapp, I dive deep into him, and especially when he had combo stuff with Pendleton.
I wonder why you dived into Knapp specifically. Um,
Heck, man. I mean, only the third true freshman since freshmen were eligible, in 72, 71. And it's, yeah, you had to watch him. He's going against the one guy, Stewart. Holy moly, number 4. Is that the best looking dude maybe I've ever seen? He looks like Clowney out there. He was a 5-star. He's top 10 in the country. The number 5, the other Stewart's a freakazoid. And then obviously the Scorton matchup was just a blast to watch. So, and then obviously you and I, the PFF grades. I know you said on Goolsby show you thought it was way high.
What was it really only one pressure?
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
Was it the one that we watched on the show?
Well, that was a QB draw. That was a keeper all the way with Riley Leonard. So that wasn't even a pass play. There was one he gave up one. I think. Sorry about that. Like I'm doing moves over here on my laptop. I got I think it was number 4 actually, Stewart, who's just grown ass man. Does a little rip and gets hands on Leonard. But other than that, man, hey, when you get 2 hands on a guy and the D end is above the quarterback, that's a win. That is not a pressure at all.
Okay.
So he played really good. Some of his run blocks were atrocious because he stepped. You could tell he stepped, and he's like,
Was that mainly early, Tim, and then got better as the game went on with that?
There was one late. Where I think he killed Price. Poor Price is just getting crushed. You could tell he took an outside zone step, and it was inside zone, which is a shorter step, more of a base block, and number 4 kills. Him against Scorton, and the same thing with Emil Wagner. I mean, Wagner gets constantly lost in the shuffle, and when you watch him, he's talented as could be. You could see his little, how skinny he is, of course, because he doesn't have that 320-ish body like we've seen so many offensive tackles at Notre Dame have. But Wagner is strong. The one thing, and I'll dive into some Knapp stuff once we get going more on the O-line, is I would love to know how strong that kid is. He literally just one-arm Scorton a few times, just literally stopped him in his place. So, which is very impressive. And a few times on the run. The holding call, I think he got a holding call on a run play, right? Which was absolutely stupid. The pass one, I understand. The run one, man, he had 2 hands in the breastplate and just driving the hell out of it. I think it was Scorton. So heck of a play. But
what else stood out, Tim?
Billy Schraus going to be a grown man if he's not already. He was excellent. And to go off your point you just said a minute ago, just sticking with the O-line, those dudes did get better as the game went on. Definitely got better from the first to the fourth quarter. We're gonna hopefully, we see that with Northern Illinois, with Purdue, keep this momentum moving. And it's funny, in the last 24, 36 hours, keep going back to Riley Leonard's comment after the game, where he talked about, I didn't feel myself until I didn't get comfortable until the second half. And I think you saw a lot of that with a lot of the players, especially with the offensive line. I thought those guys played really good. That A&M defense is good. You could see those guys being tired really in those last 2 drives. Number 5 is an animal, the D tackle. He started getting tired. Emil Wagner just the ball's away from him, and Emil Wagner blocks down and reaches him literally 2 gaps over and is able to reach Stewart, who was all SEC last year. That was impressive as could be. So I thought those guys got better. The tight ends, it's always O-line, and you know me, linemen can only block 5. The tight ends were bad. It was one of the worst blocking performances until that game-winning touchdown. Raritan and Flanagan were just bad, but is there really their first time ever playing?
Sure.
That extensive action, but and then last, just going over some of the PFF grades real quick. I started, because we've been, harping on road games. So I went back to some of the road games the last couple of years, and believe it or not, the group and this and the Texas A&M D line, they're all going to the NFL. I mean, they are freaking good. They're all going to the NFL. So you got a pass block grade of 76. It doesn't seem right, but there's a lot better than it appeared at times. I felt a couple one-on-one blocks here and there. But last year against Clemson, and that with 2 NFL tackles, their pass blocking grade as a unit was only 58. 58. It was in 2022, their pass blocking grade was only 53 against Ohio State. That is, as Horka, who's in here, Horka does all the PFF grades. That's horrible. Just absolutely horrible. So I found that kind of interesting. And then a little stat just looking at, some of the great games. The Clemson 22 game, there were over 71 pass and runs. So that tells you how awesome of a night that was. But last year, Clemson, they got their butts kicked. They were in the 50s in run blocking and 52 and just the mid 50s in pass blocking. So you could see comparable, as I said, with the A&M. So I found that pretty interesting, just going back and, just looking at some past games of, because the last two, obviously O-lines had NFL tackles, Jared Patterson in 22. So to compare that with the 6 starts we've talked about, now it's up to a whopping 11 going into Northern Illinois. I thought it was pretty impressive. When you look at it.
All right. Anything defensively? Any non-O-line notes from your rewatch, Tim?
Jordan Botelho was outstanding. Man, you don't notice it because he's in the bottom of the pile so many times. He's knocking the hell out of guys, and he's good. Very disappointed in Mills and Cross. Cross had the lowest PFF grade, and I thought it showed on film. I don't think he was outside of a couple plays. He's freaking All-American. Yeah, he's gonna make some plays, but overall, Tyler Horka could probably talk about that on his show tomorrow night. Is it from the sore hamstring? Is it not practicing as much as we were probably led on to believe? Did that have something to do with it? Roll from there. Mills looks like the same player the last 5 years. Just big, strong guy. He's going to maul some people, make some plays, and then he's going to get double teamed and rooted out of there a handful of times. RJ Open, someone said, yeah, he was not noticeable at all, which I then noticed Bryce Young's in the goal line package going 100 miles an hour on a couple snaps. It's like, man, play that freshman 22 snaps if you have to. Give him some reps. And then lastly, we talked a ton Saturday night. The secondary is like, if they show up just half that good the rest of the year,
yeah,
it's gonna be elite times 10. And then as I noticed, I talked real quick before we started, and we'll dive into this later or whatever, is the biggest takeaway, which I was like, me personally, was that's coach speak. When Horka and Sobel talked about this during training camp with Coach Bola, 5 linebackers. How the hell are you going to play 5 linebackers? Saturday, those dudes are only going to get better. If those guys keep playing like that, keep listening to that coach, and let the old gray hair Jack Kaiser move them around and get them lined up. Osbury was lost half the time. He's lining them up. Mike, they literally have 5 starting linebackers.
Yeah.
If they went out this week and started Osbury and KVA, no one would say a word. If they started Bowen and Sneed this week, no one would say a word. I thought all 5 guys could run, hit. They have some great, very, very active, and very, very impressed with those 5 because every single one of them is a different dude than the other guy. So it's a quick little wrap up there.
Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to our channel for more content. Sorry about the little YouTube snafu there. I don't know what the heck happened, but we're back. So if you're listening via podcast, appreciate you as well. I am planning on being able to put those 2 shows together on podcasts, so you guys won't even notice the difference. But anyways, Tim, I just remembered, I didn't even put this in our show notes, Tim, but we wanted to talk about the snap counts. So I got defense up here, and I'm sure you already looked through this, right, Tim? Because this came out on Sunday.
Yeah, the other day.
So linebacker, you had Kaiser 57, and then snaps, Sneed 31, Bowen 30, Kyngstonn 21, and Osbury 17. I think as the season goes on, Kingstonn's just gonna go up and up and up in snap counts, and Osbury playing 17 was a little bit of a surprise for me. Playing that much. Hyde played a ton with 25 snaps. They really rotate that D line. And then how about a couple true freshmen in there, Leonard Moore and Bryce Young, look to be a couple guys that will not have their red shirt burned.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, that will
burn
have
it.
yes, thank you. Yeah, they're playing. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I'm watching I don't, I'm horrible, but I don't watch that much special teams at times since I kicking out of the damn end zone. But I had it on one time. I'm like, who the heck is 30? Because I don't have all, I'm still looking. I got my blue and gold magazine out with the
Smart man.
roster in there. And I'm just like, Bryce Young. Holy moly, that guy is a machine running down there. So it was really nice to see him. Saw Talich on one. It was, Logan Thomas, another true freshman's on a special team running around. And we just mentioned the 5 linebackers, so I think all those guys could start. There's a 6th one. Preston Zinder's on a bunch of special teams. So it was awesome to see him out there. He's been one of those forgotten guys. So it was really good to see him running around out there. So there's a lot of young talent, those 23 and 24 classes running around having some fun. But the linebackers were very impressive. And Traore obviously got a lot of reps.
Traore 36, yeah.
Heinisch, you know what? Because they go dime so much. So they go dime, and that was the one thing in charting these things is you could just say dime. Every single dime is a different set. Botello is a 3-tech. The next time he's a stand-up guy. KVA was a Viper on one. He's a stand-up strong on the other. Traore played like 3 different spots in all the Vipers, which is pretty interesting. And then, they had Bowen out there one time. Kaiser's usually the true Mike, when they keep one backer in that box. The 6 DBs were all consistent out there. But the way they move around the interior guys, they must have 12 buzzwords. Orange, it's the orange crew goes in, silver, the silver crew. And it's just all these little stand-up things that they're doing all over the place, causing havoc. So that's pretty impressive. And then a lot of man blitzes, tons of zone blitzes you saw in the second half. Obviously, the one with Gray knocking them out. You started seeing some boundary blitzes and playing zone off of stuff. So, Golden just kept mixing that. It seemed like every quarter was a new package, and he was just going and having fun with it.
Looking at the offensive snap counts, Tim, anything stand out to this for you? Bo Collins, 59 of the 67 receiver snaps. The biggest surprise here was Mitch Evans playing 10 snaps. Horka, if Horka's still in here, you tell me if you got a different impression. But my impression from all of the media sessions was that Evans was good to go. And he clearly was not. And Horka, you tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. But he got 10 snaps, Raridan 24, Flanagan 43. So much talk about Evans, Raridan 1-2. Flanagan got the start, and that was definitely a surprise. And then Devin Ford getting 13 snaps. That was Horka says he was shocked. Horka, you just need to. We got the crack staff in the back room. That's what I feel like when we have Horka in the chat. He says I was shocked when we played on 3rd down. So you're apparently, according to Horka as well, they thought he was full go too. But Ford going from running back 4, right, when Payne was healthy, he was running back 4. So they move him to safety. Now he's back playing 3rd downs. So that was a surprise that he got as much playing time as he did. I mean, is he that much better of a run blocker than he's so okay? So there's the one that he
knocks the crap out of the guy on 4th down, and then the next one, Raridan and Love going to chicken arms on this bad spot everyone's complaining about with the refs. If they had Ford in there, he knocks the hell out of that guy, and they get a easy 1st down and they just keep marching. So Ford. Just watch Ford on special teams. The dude is nuts.
I love Ford.
You've talked about it.
I have. I think he's going to play in the NFL.
He's going to make an NFL roster.
Yeah. I was just surprised. Like, we're really running, what was it, 3rd and 8? They run a designed swing screen pass out the foot.
That goes back to, it's funny you say that. That goes back to one of my favorite charts is the ball in the air, per pass. And this was a dink and dunk machine, man. You only had one pass past 20, which was the one to Bo Collins.
Right.
You had a beautiful corner
right at 20 yards, I think it was.
Exactly, right at 20. Beautiful corner route, but that was only 16 to Flanagan in the air. So with ball in the air, man, it was low, quick, probably 2 seconds. that ball was getting out. I think that was the game plan going in, because I don't think they wanted to sit back maybe with the crowd noise. This is what I started thinking as I started rewatching, breaking things down, was, okay, what's Denbrock thinking? Hey, you know what? You could get some singles. You could get a tackle for loss. You could get a little pressure. Riley's going to scramble. We're not going to give you the 3-run homer. We're not going to give you the sack with 107,000 people doing backflips on a 3rd and 8 sack. You're not going to get that. We're just going to dink dunk it, play. And that goes back to Freeman on Monday, was when he talked about playing complimentary football. It was like, hey, we're going to punt. What's his name? Herbstreit talked about that, where Freeman told him in the pregame, like, hey, if there's a time we got to punt, we'll do it. Punt. Because I think they knew that they cannot go 90 yards. It's almost like the Clemson game last year with Dabo. Dabo got the midfield, 6 straight possessions. Shit, just punt the ball. I don't care. Hartman's not taking that ball down the field, and proved right. And we saw that with Wegman as well. So just a little bit of D and roll from there. Read my comment on Notre Dame one played against 2 years ago. Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing. Kill clock. Obviously, way more 2 tight ends in that thing because they didn't have any receivers. Yeah, it was the same type of mindset, and they just missed a few passes in that game. Trying to go deep a couple times to Lindsey. Jeez, I forgot Lindsey was on that team. But Lindsey, yeah, this one was just quicker. But then you watch those couple pass. I mean, they hit Collins on the stop route. Beautiful pass. The dart on that last drive, the quick 5-yard out to Jaden Greathouse.
Yep.
On the money. And it's like, I came away like, dude, you can throw. I mean, they attempted 30 freaking passes in this game. That's what stunned me the most, but it was just little dumps.
Yeah, that was clearly the plan.
But I think Collins, the way he just looks and runs, I don't think he's a blazer, but what have I said? He's damn good at Clemson, those 15 and under routes.
Oh, okay. So Tim's now acting like he's been a Collins guy like me this entire time. All right. Okay.
I've never one time ever said Collins is a Bernie.
No, he's not.
Always said he's underneath. Mike, he played at Clemson. He's not a turd now. It's like, come on, he could play. He's a Pasco guy.
No. So, but I've been calling him receiver 1. I've been hyping him up. This is the man. He's the guy. He is a hashtag dude.
He's a poor man's Kevin Austin. I don't think he's as good as
Whoa, poor man's Kevin Austin?
Kevin Austin in 2021 was legit. Kevin Austin's a
poor man's Kevin Austin?
Poor man is in. I don't think he's I don't think he could run by you like Austin could. Kevin Austin's a damn good wide receiver. Had Freeman convinced him to come back in 22, completely different offense with him in 22. Because he still had a 5th year and he left early. He went to the pro early. He didn't come back for a 5th year.
But a poor man's?
Poor man's doesn't mean he's a stiff. Poor man's mean.
All right, this was Kevin Austin's stats in 2021. 48 receptions, 888 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's like, 18 yards a catch, right? What was he at? 17-ish, 18 yards a catch?
Yeah, 888. The Collins probably is not reaching that.
No, 18 yards a catch is damn good football.
18.5, Tim. That's pretty good math. But he ain't no poor man.
That's pretty up there. You're catching.
Yeah, yeah.
You're up there.
That was that cone ear, man.
When I say poor man's, it's probably me.
All right, yeah. Walk it back.
No, I'm not going to walk it back, but I'm saying I like Kevin Austin. I've always been upset he never came back for a 5th year because he would have been a stud in 2022. He would have been the go-to guy. But as life goes, I think he's still in the NFL, so he's on a practice.
Saints, I think, right?
Yeah, so he's still bouncing around. But when I say poor man's, I don't know if he has the burst and things of that nature, but he's damn good. And that goes back to, I think I've talked about him before. I've watched every single one of his catches over the last 2 years. The dude competes like hell, 20 and in, and I keep saying that.
People are very upset in the chat about his little love tap. How dare you? Hey, man, ref was right there. He didn't call it. No harm, no foul. Move on, folks. There was no penalty called. No penalty called.
Yeah, no penalty. Exactly. The ref.
Hey, we're good. We're chilling.
Hey, man, sometimes you take it. I mean, they could. Notre Dame offensive line had like 4 holding calls. Okay, so it's like they didn't get one pushing the tap. I think we're okay. I think we're okay, especially at Kyle Field, man. They didn't. I mean,
Yeah.
you thought they would call everything. So for them not to do that, and maybe I was a give back after that horrible spot, right?
Put this on a t-shirt. I'm telling you, talk your shit, Bo. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
All right, Horka says he talked about it tonight. I'll get the quote. I want to see it. Post it in the chat for us.
Oh, from Collins.
Now, I do love watching my favorite sporting events from my couch. I got a great couch. But it's nothing like experiencing a game live in the stadium. That's where we're going to meet our sponsor for today's show. It's gametime.co. Do not get it twisted with a .com. This is a .co. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy sports tickets, music, comedy, theater near you with killer last-minute ticket deals. You don't got to have the stress of finding tickets, sort through all the different options. They have features that can make this really easy. So you can just get relaxed and hyped for that fun that you're going to have. Website, super easy to manage. And they have a feature called Game Time Picks that makes getting tickets to see your favorite sports teams play even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of ticket options. Some of the best aspects of GameTime.co, you might ask. You got the all-in pricing. Toggling this feature shows the total upfront with no surprise fees at checkout. You can check out seat views to get a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you buy, and you'll get the lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. Take the guesswork out of buying concert tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app today. Create an account. Use the promo code ON3, that's ON3, for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Again, folks, create an account, redeem the code ON3 for $20 off your first purchase. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. There you go. I'm telling you, Tim, Twitter has been fun. It really has been fun to look at. So a lot of different people are posting different clips on Twitter from the game, and I was like, look, I think it would be fun. Now, Tim,
okay,
I'm going to recommend something to you so you can see this better. If you put your screen, if you put your little cursor in the bottom right of the show square, you can make it full screen so you can see it better. Does that work? No. It's like right where it says subscribe in the bottom right corner. You should be able to click that. No, it's okay, Tim. It's okay. I was trying to help you out there.
You're killing me.
But anyways, I thought this would be fun. So this Nick Baumgartner from The Athletic tweeted this one out. You got it?
Oh, I got you. Come on.
Oh, attaboy.
Tim.
All right.
Here we go.
All right. So Nick tweeted out Notre Dame third-year linebacker Jalen Sneed mentioned in Bruce Feldman's Freak List of the Year, super explosive and fast, all that good stuff. Now, this play here on the goal line, this little toss, is that the EJ Smith? Is that Emmitt Smith's kid?
It could be.
Gotta be. Anyways,
I'm just watching.
If I'm leaving a guy unblocked, it's not Jalen Sneed. Like, no. Do not leave Jalen Sneed unblocked. I mean, this is exactly what you should expect would happen. Sneed just walks, like, just a burst down the line, leaps, makes that diving stop, goes to the ground, that left arm around the body, so he's not just, grabbing and hoping for dear life. Sneed gets his arm around him. Nice little side hug there. Thoughts on this play, Tim?
The closest thing we've seen since Jalen Smith, when Jalen did this a handful of times in his wonderful career with Brian Van Gorder. And that was as soon as he made that tackle, you're watching it live and you're like, who in the world is that guy? So, it's just explosiveness. That's year 3. There's a guy as Goolsby talks about it a million times since he signed, is the see ball, get ball type of guy. And here he is evolving, coming into his own in year 3, the second most snaps at linebacker. Who would have thought that 9 months ago? Yeah. So I think that's awesome. And that's just an explosive play. Goes back to what I want. When they do all this nickel and dime and it's 3rd and 8 or 2nd and 12, I just want to see Sneed on the edge, man. I do. He looks small, by the way. He looks like he weighs 198 pounds, doesn't he? He just looks, because he's just probably so ripped. He's got like no fat, and he's just a freakish looking athlete. I just want to see him rush the quarterback.
Just one game, but you see like a big jump in his game from sophomore to junior year. Like it seems like he's replacing that Maris Leofow role, and he's doing a pretty good job with it.
Just go back to the South Carolina game where he's playing rover. He's in space. He's lost as could be. And he graduated. What was that? I don't even want to read that. And it's got he can't even play a wide receiver, So, he's a different dude. And I think it goes back to him, his athleticism. Let him be that Micah Parsons guy and just let him roam. But I would love to see more of him on the edge. I think he needs it. He's so damn explosive.
Yeah, I'm curious if Fork is still in here. If there's anything on PFF like on where he lined up, I'd be interested to see like his.
There is you could go into each individual things and they will put him down.
His on ball versus off ball snaps where, I mean if Sneed doesn't get him here, I mean, is that 8? Yeah, Schuler might get him too. I mean, is that Basantis pulling there? Schuler looks like he kind of just got right by him. He was going to make that stop. And then Burnham was there as well. Burnham may have been too late there, but good play.
Yep.
Good play by the Irish defense. This next one tweeted out by Coach Dan Casey. This was, I'm sure a lot of you saw this today. Quite the nice play. I love this angle and watching football. Like I really hate there. Here's my one broadcast TV take, Tim. Right? Everyone wants to talk about the announcers, and Trash comes in here and drops a $20 super chat, and Trash is like, can you guys talk about these announcers and how they hate ESPN hates Notre Dame? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know what to tell you, Trash. I don't really care. This is my one take, Tim. The broadcast angle sucks. It's terrible. You don't get to see the field. I wish we could just broadcast and behind the quarterback or give me an all 22 something.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN does it during the playoff games. During the playoff games.
Yeah, they do that.
And the New Year's 6 games, they always have little feeds. You can watch it. So,
anyways, so we're looking at Drake Bowen here.
Yeah, he just blows up this counter.
I mean, okay, I was curious. So I think when you think about a counter, there's usually like some kind of misdirection step. Is what makes this a counter this left tackle here? Or like,
no, I mean the counter is, it's Y counter, H counter, whatever you want to call it, fullback counter. There's multiple terms, but it's a counter because counter is 2 guys pulling.
So that's all a counter means.
Yeah, it's 2 guys one guy pulling, that'd be power, but it's 2 pulling, you call it counter in the counter scheme. And then the left tackle comes super, super flat. Yeah, he should be up top of he should be attacking the number of jersey of 1, and then go into Osbury. He's too flat down there. That's Zune. Good football player.
Gotcha. Okay.
Bowen just blows this up.
Look at me learning. Yeah. But on this counter, the tackle's down blocking like that. That's a normal.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You got down kick out. So,
but otherwise, pretty well blocked, right? I mean, Osbury was about to be there because of what you mentioned, but I mean, then Zune does get up.
Yep.
But Bowen. So I'm sorry for podcast audience. You just got to go to YouTube. I love you guys, but you got to come to YouTube. Bowen just takes that on.
Yeah. But this goes back to some of the runs A&M got, because Notre Dame is pretty much a 6 in the box, team, because they're in nickel so much, so and they're always, 2 high safeties, Yeah, it's unlike A&M, who's got two safeties sitting there at 9 yards, just shooting in the alley as soon as the ball snaps. So, but yeah, Bowen just blows the living hell out of that thing. You know,
If you had to choose which linebackers were going to play the most, and you can only have two, would you go? Like which two linebackers do you want to see the most snaps? And that includes
moving forward.
Yeah, but that includes Jalen playing, that Marist role where he's off the edge.
Can you? I mean, seriously, can you just imagine if? I mean, just watch Georgia. Georgia's linebackers; those dudes, those guys are just, there's trash right there.
Thank you, Trash.
Those dudes are fast as could be. They're just fast, but you got to have the space eaters up front and things of that nature. It's hard to be a space eater when you got Heinisch in there and Anye, it's skinny 290. They don't have the 325ers up there. But Sneed and Osbury, just because of their speed, would be amazing. KVA is KVA, I don't know if you have any clips of him. He was a blast.
Yeah, he's next.
Okay, he was a blast to watch. And then you got Bowen and Kaiser, probably going to get killed from the juice, our buddy Juicy J, Mr. Indiana there. But the two Indiana guys.
The amount of mentions Juicy J gets on our YouTube channel is hysterical to me.
I love it. But speed, man, speed and athleticism is awesome. Yeah. I mean, Osbury really surprised me. He's one of those, going back to his film, violent, aggressive, one of the best blitzers, high school blitzers I've seen. He would blow things up. Really good high school football player, but it's like, how's he going to play? It looks like he weighs 192 pounds.
Okay, so your top two is Sneed, Osbury?
If I'm going into Northern Illinois, I'm starting Sneed and Osbury, speed as heck, go on the field, rotate KVA, kick Sneed down, let him play some rush end. That's what I would do. It's not going to happen, but it's just me for speed. Kaiser is, we're going to see 24 out there 90% of the time.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. So I'm just talking, heck, let's talk 2025, right?
Dude, that's where my mind was just going. Just think about this defense, Tim. Gray, sophomore. Schuler, sophomore. Right?
Yep.
Linebackers. KVA, freshman. Bowen, sophomore. Osbury, sophomore. Sneed's a junior, right?
Yeah. He's a redshirt soft, technically.
Go to the D line. Boubacar Traore, sophomore. Who's the other? Bryce Young, freshman. Leonard Moore, freshman. The youngness. Burnham's the 22 class, junior.
Yeah. Junior.
You have such a young core that's so talented and playing so much football. I don't know. Future's looking bright.
It's good. And then the other side for me, it's gonna be those interior guys. It's gonna be those, those big dogs in the middle. For
excitement about Newcomb. Or are you talking about offense?
No, talking about D tackle. After
it's excitement about Newcomb.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anye, she's just keep growing. Rubio, those guys could be gone. Do they take a grad transfer? Hopefully they come back, but we'll see. It's going to be the interior guys.
All right, here's Mike Renner from CBS Sports, Notre Dame alum. I think we've had Renner on our channel before.
I think you have.
I think I have. Renner is like a draft thing a couple years ago, but yeah, here is KVA. And this is really good. So this is what I saw, I'm telling you, from KVA at that All-Star game, Tim. I've talked about this, and where he's just like, look, the timing there, right? He starts moving before Wigman's clapped. He's like, he's about to snap this ball. Starts moving in. Takes on this double team. Right. 54 goes up to the second level.
That's 600 some odd pounds hitting him.
Right. He just stands his ground. And then this little look at this D-line move there, Tim. Look at that rip.
Look at that.
Absolutely. I think that's swim move. Yep. Beautiful hand placement. Look at the left arm right under The armpit, just rip right through it, makes the stop. With Bowen's help, but man, this is so good.
Bowen takes it too centered up. That's one thing I noticed with Bowen a couple times in this game, a handful of times. Some of the runs that were when he was in there, he would go center mass on a guard. It's like if he's the outside fitter, which I'm assuming he is, since KVA is the inside guy, he should be hitting that with his inside arm, ripping, playing that B gap.
Okay,
right
so you're saying he needs to be his right shoulder should be more on. Okay,
more square. Yeah, he did this a few times in the game, but goes back to experience, reps. Bola probably in there talking all these fits. You could see it with Bowen, especially on Saturday. He did that a lot, taking on blocks, centered mass, and it's like, no, if you're centered mass, you lost because you got to be on one of the gaps, one of the hips, be on the inside. Yeah, but KB was nice on a Saturday. He had some nice plays.
K-Max Singer got one on the way. I do, October. So it would be nice if my daughter's born during the bye week, but otherwise we'll have the operation handled here. And I will be
do the double A. Do the Hyde Horka Tuesday while you're
Hyde Horka. Kyle Kelly's gonna step in. Okay. We'll see. Horka can host or Kyle's really good. I do my recruiting show.
Yeah, you don't want me and Kyle. We'll just talk about Chicago defensive linemen for like an hour. So
that sounds great. As long as I don't have to do it, I'm happy. But Kyle, one time you had to miss for a game, and Kyle stepped in for the post game show.
I think the Clemson game last year.
Kyle did fantastic. Kyle's got a really good football mind. That was a bonus thing when we hired Kyle. I didn't know he was that smart as a football mind, so that would be good. So you guys will like Kyle if you don't watch my recruiting show, which you should. All right, this last one, Tim.
Anything with Knapp out there?
This is my last one I've got. This is from Nate Tice of Yahoo Sports, and he tweeted, "Came away from the All-22 of the Notre Dame Texas A&M game more impressed by Riley Leonard's performance than I thought I'd be. He did an admirable job of operating a new offense on the road. Here are some of the plays of Leonard's pre-snap operation, pocket movement, and use of his eye." I have not even watched this yet, Tim. Also, real quick, Rule 34 artists, unrelated, but Rico Flores had a nice game for UCLA. Happy to see him. 3 for 101 and a touchdown. Did not see that.
Good for him.
Very good. Very good for Rico Flores. That was one of the transfers that stung. I would love to have seen what would have happened with Notre Dame's receiver rotation if Rico Flores stayed. They may not have brought in one of those transfers. I don't know, but happy for Rico.
He would definitely be playing this year.
Yep. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna let this one roll, Tim, and see. So this is the cross finds Thomas.
Yeah.
I think that's Shaden Thomas.
Yeah, go back. You can watch with Knapp. It's so funny going back because as we watch Leonard, we'll be focusing like crazy on him. Real quick, Pendleton, the dude's violent. You can just take away one word, violent. The guy likes violence. He is an angry dude out there and a lot of fun to watch. Wagner, athlete. Schrauf's going to be an NFL, top 2-round pick. And Craig, it's funny. Craig was probably the worst lineman out there on Saturday night with a little sloppiness and whatnot. But you see Knapp, dude, 2 hands on, right him past the quarterback. That's all. It's what you get asked for when you're a true freaking freshman going against a couple NFL DNs. So I found that awesome.
So much talk about the left side. Look at Wagner's position here. Like, look at that DN for A&M. Like, Wagner had himself. Wagner was such a Wagner versus Baker on that right side was such a big topic of discussion. Wagner's out here balling, man. We're just not talking about him because of the left side surprise, but Wagner's out here balling.
No, he had a solid night. Solid night. Just same thing. This was his first start. That's the other. We keep forgetting about that.
Yeah.
We're so focused on the others, and like I said, this is the first time since Zach Martin and Taylor Deaver in 2010, 2 offensive tackles are starting for the first time in a season. So it's been a while.
But yeah, nice job by by Leonard here. First read looks to be Collins on a deep out. And finds Thomas. Good patience. Step up in the pocket. Flips his hips.
And his pocket presence, by the way, is just the guy can move, man. He knows how to move around in that thing. So he's a lot of. He's gonna be dangerous, man. I don't mind him running. He's sweet.
And one critique as a former receiver many pounds ago, Jaden Greathouse, his stance is the most nonchalant stance I've ever seen. Every single time I would look at Jaden Greathouse's stance, I'm like, that looks like a receiver who knows he's not getting the ball. But to his credit, he then explodes out of that stance. I don't know what is going on with this, but that was one observation from me. All right. Maybe my internet is just crap at the bed tonight, Tim.
It's okay. But really, I mean, like I said, I know we've talked a bunch about Knapp, and and I guess you kind of forget about it, right? Just take everyone aside, just take back a seat back for 30 seconds and just, where was Anthony Knapp last year? Playing in front of 5,000 in Georgia, let's say.
If maybe that.
5,000. Exactly. I'm just saying if it's a big rivalry game, so let's say 5,000. He's in the 260s. High school football, if we all forget, for those that played, it's 48 minutes. So here he is, 30 plus pounds heavier, a year later, playing in front of 107,000 people, and he's going against 2 NFL picks. Plus, as I talked about a few weeks ago, he's playing a 5th high school quarter. He's never played 60 minutes in a game. So that mind is like, oh, crap, I got to go again. So for that guy to do all this stuff in an entire year is pretty awesome. Just to come from nowhere and just go back to where, when he committed. I was thinking about this the other day. He had Fisher and Alt. Who knows if they both leave, right? Wagner and Baker are still ahead of him. Jagasol starts the ball game. He's the 6th guy when he commits.
We weren't even talking about him as a tackle. We're talking about him as an interior guy.
Never, exactly. He started spring ball. Horker could probably talk about this on the show tomorrow night. He started spring ball. He was a center. They threw him at center to say, hey, this is where you're going to get reps. And then he played tackle the last half of spring, and now he's a starting left tackle in Kyle Field. It's nuts.
Do you think if he plays well enough, you think he can just stay a tackle for his entire career?
You know what? With Joe Rudolph and 2 training camps, how can anyone say anything? Right?
So it doesn't matter. He's not the prototypical tackle with his size, but you don't care, right? Like you play. If you can play, you can play.
Yeah, if he's the best guy. If he's the best guy, he's the best guy. But I mean, even Rudolph says his best position is going to be inside, so they probably want to move him somewhere inside eventually and get those Lambert, Jagasol, Wagner. Obviously, still has 2 years of eligibility. Get some of those. What Wagner's going to be. For as much as we talk about his weight, he's going to be 315 at the NFL Combine someday. Watch.
Yeah.
With how skinny he's going to be, a skinny 315 pounder running probably a 4.9 and be like, yeah, you're getting drafted.
Yeah, I do think he ends up sliding inside of Notre Dame, but yeah, I mean, kudos to Anthony Knapp.
It's the wildest story just to see where he's come in the last 12 months. It's nuts.
Yeah. All right, let's see what we got next here. So we got JD Price in the. Again, I have not watched this. I don't know what we're about to see, but Leonard step in the. Oh, so that's that same play. That was the same play. Okay.
There's Knapp just riding him out. Wagner. I think Strauss pass grade was like 80 something. I don't have the.
So we got a bunch. No, Greathouse is in motion. Leonard drops back. So that was that late in the game, right?
Yep, third down on the last drive. Emotions, boom, hits that speed out right there for the first down. All right, Mike.
It's because I've got this thing zoomed in and it messes it up. All right, I got the timestamp though.
It's all good. Yeah, this is a nice little speed out right here. Nice pickup out there by the running back last second.
Nice throw.
Yeah, that's the line. I expected a lot more crazy loops and twists and all that stuff. So Notre Dame, actually, the few that they did run, they did a pretty good job picking some stuff up. The front five guys.
All right, here's I'm not trying to dog on Devin Ford, but your boy Devin Ford, he didn't do great on that one.
No, that was late. That was who was it? Oh, it was Ford earlier. I think there's one pressure made where you could tell it's a full slide. It's in the first quarter, a full slide to the right, and Ford like runs right to the hip of Knapp instead of getting right on that edge, and that guy got a little pressure on Leonard on one of those. It happened a few times. It felt like the backs were just fitting oddly in some of the pass pros. But that's game one on the road, ranked, rolling from there.
Yeah, and there's Mitchell Evans too. Yeah, nice. Good, quick, accurate throw.
Yeah, and going back to Evans, it's like, I get it. He probably he's out there in training camp, but he's probably not knocking heads. He's not in, probably doesn't have all the calluses on from hitting people and things of that nature. And me personally, I've always been like, man, just get healthy and get ready for Louisville, right? Just get ready for Louisville. Get a few reps each and every game, and hopefully you're 100% by Louisville. So,
all right, here's another look at that same play, Tim. Anything stand out about the O-line there? I mean, the guy with the pressure again is
up the other
on
side.
Ford. Yeah,
because Ford just came up too tight instead of almost like a fan off of Wagner's butt there. But look how you watch Wagner as well. He looks like he's 7 feet tall out there. Sometimes.
Yeah, he does.
He's so long and lengthy, and his knees and elbows and all that. And he's a smooth player. One thing, just a little X and O thing. I was surprised. Only one running back screen. I liked how they did a lot of quick flares, some quick little smoke screens, dumping them out real quick to the receivers. Only tried one true running back. That was, that kind of surprised me a little bit. I was expecting 4 or 5 running back screens.
So this was that deep corner that you were talking about earlier to Flanagan, right?
Oh, great ball. Yeah.
Great protection.
You got 2 hitches splitting each other, the running back, and that's and the wide receiver out there, each run a hitch. Flanagan, beautiful ball to Flanagan. Flanagan had a couple.
This is going to send me into early retirement.
That's all good.
People are like, Mike, just hit play. It's because I'm zooming in, and then it's okay. Yeah, a little smash concept. Yeah, it's nice. Nice throw. I guess we got the same play from the secondary angle. Oh no, from behind.
Yeah, from behind.
Let me know what you see on this one from the O-line, Tim.
Survive. That's really what it is. Those guys are teeing off. Those guys are some good football players, man. But Notre Dame handled a lot. I mean, they had what they have? I think they had 4 or 5 5-stars in their 2 deep alone, and they're good. I mean, they're legit. Notre Dame, handled those guys pretty good.
All right, let's see what we got here. Really interesting front with on the left side of the screen. Got these 2 wide guys looking like they're gonna rush. Kind of an really unbalanced look here. And let's see how they pick it up, Tim. This is what Nate who tweeted this talked about the pre-snap operation.
Oh, that's the bumble snap right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Snap. Yeah, hits a little dump. Yeah, I mean, the ball came out quick as could be. Mostly that goes back to the ball in the air. Only a handful, over 10 yards in this game. So I think we're going to see more. That was, you read Twitter. Oh, I want to see pass, and even some of our comments on Saturday night. You're going to see more of it as they keep evolving and growing into this thing. I think they had a game plan to do what they needed to do to not. I keep going back to. I don't think their crowd was going to be nuts. They didn't want it to be like, the Coliseum in Rome where people are getting their heads chopped off and cheering like crazy and you can't even hear. I think they wanted to control that the best they could, and I think they did a hell of a job.
Yeah, I mean, this is really good from Wagner, Pendleton.
Even going back to Riley Leonard, I talked about this Saturday night. There's 4 passes off the top of my head. You have a square into Mitchell, a square into Bo Collins, where they looked like they were just on the wrong page, with Riley. Beautiful darts. If they just look, bam, catch, and they're running. You got a misread by Faison. Remember that one where he wanted to hit Faison on a corner, and Faison runs a hitch, and it's like, dude, you're running the damn corner. And then obviously that back shoulder to Jeremiah Love, he has for a touchdown. I mean, there's 4 explosive pass plays that would have hit in that game Saturday. We've been talking about that type of a game out of Riley Leonard, throwing for well over 200 yards and 1 or 2 touchdowns maybe.
Yeah, college football is in full swing, and with Notre Dame looking like they're in a pretty good pretty good shape, I should say, to make a run to the college football playoff. You're going to want to make sure that you're geared up as best as possible, which is where you're going to want to head to homefieldapparel.com, a premium collegiate apparel brand based in Indianapolis. So our favorite Juicy J, you better be rocked out with Homefield Apparel, my friend. You guys know personally, I love their clothing. It's in my weekly rotation. Wear their stuff all of the time. You get that brand new clothing look that, or excuse me, I should say like that. It's obviously brand new clothing with a retro look, but no retro tears, rips, smells. Homefield's always rolling out new items as well, which includes this unique coach's jacket, which is this is sick. I mean, I'm telling you guys, their stuff really is awesome. The monogram bomber jacket. You're going to want to check out homefieldapparel.com. Their clothes fit great, very comfortable. Highly recommend you go to homefieldapparel.com. Check out the entire Notre Dame line, which folks watching on YouTube, you see on the screen. And again, they're rolling out new stuff all the time. If you have friends that are fans of other schools, Homefield has licensed clothing for over 180 colleges. So get yourself some Notre Dame gear. And then grab something for the loved one in your life. Use the code BGI when you do it, and you'll get 15% off your first order at Homefield. Again, folks, that's code BGI for 15% off your first order at Homefield. Check out Homefield and gear up for an exciting season ahead. Continuing on, Mr. Hyde. So we had this throw here. And then let's see what we have next. This looks later in the game. It's clearly third down with Devin Ford in. Talk to me what you see here, Tim, as the play unfolds. There's a good pickup by Ford. Nice run. That was the last play. Tim, you there? Did I lose you? Muted?
Yeah, I'm sitting here watching this thing, talking to myself. So
love this from Craig.
Yeah.
Craig
and Billy there,
knocking that out really sets this. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Pendleton surviving. Knapp's like, can I get 2 hands on you and just ride you past the quarterback? That's what it was so much of the night. And it's just like, survive, man. See a good kick. I mean, that's what he was kick stepping. If people go back to Joe Alt would just boom.
Who you talking about, Knapp?
Yeah. Alt would just stone your ass right away on the line. He's just going to knock you on the line and control you. Yeah. I think with Knapp, it was just like, that's probably why they went with him over Baker. He has a quicker kick step, get 2 hands on his ass and ride him past the quarterback. Riley's got enough experience in his 24, 25 starts. He feels the pocket really good. He's one of the least sacked quarterbacks in his 2 years in his start. So I wouldn't be surprised if they talked about that. Like, he just has a quicker step and hands on than Baker. If that's some of the thinking they were doing in practice.
Yeah. As I'm watching this, Tim, and I know this is like a highlight reel for the guy, but his pocket presence, Leonard, really does look good. I mean, Pendleton and Craig just kind of riding their guys out, allowing Leonard to step up in the pocket. And Leonard, the awareness, the feel of it here is really good. I mean, this is really good for Riley Leonard.
One of the comments, Freeman talked about was they set the protection wrong a few times. And you could tell in that thing, they didn't need the double with Ashton Craig and Billy Shroud. They could have slid probably to the left a little bit more and helped out over there with Pendleton. I know Freeman talked about that on Monday. Just like, it's not always just the 5. They screwed up protection a few times. And And you could see that a few times where they slid. I know Pendleton got beat bad in the first drive or two where he didn't pick up a guy in his B gap, and it was probably the wrong call, and he probably went the wrong damn way, not knowing, because that was a easy pickup for him to do because everyone slid and the running back, which is a mistake. So just a little subtle thing for those guys to keep working and coach up, because a lot of protections people don't realize they come from the quarterback in the center. They go up to the line and they call out calls. So it's not like, hey, green in the huddle. A lot of those protections, that's when you watch the NFL and you always see the quarterback point to the mic and he's counting. They set the protection off whoever they declare the mic for that play.
All right, I got something for you, Tim. Our last little highlight. Tweet from Tyler Horka.
Sure.
Notre Dame wide receiver Bo Collins said the ref put his hand on his flag after his infamous shove of a Texas A&M defensive back, but ultimately did not pull and throw it. Quote from Collins, "That's the luck of the Irish right there." The media got to talk to the players tonight, and then this Twitter account says, "Don't love what could have happened, but I love the intensity." Mike Singer's right about Bo. I'm telling you.
I love it.
This is the guy right here.
I mean, seriously, this throw and catch,
that's so good.
Mike, you know what? I'm going to say it, because this is the things me and many others expected last year, and just we never got a back shoulder called. We never saw a play like that.
I thought you were about to give me bad news. What?
No. That's the most. I mean, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, where the hell was that last year? It's like, did you not watch Wake Forest film and see the strengths of what Hartman could do throwing the ball? Great throw by Riley Leonard. So it's nice to see just a one-on-one guy. But at the same time, who the hell's that guy going to be, that guy last year that goes and beats someone one-on-one, right? Who was doing the contested catches? Salerno?
Tim.
Tyree? No. So it's nice to have Bo Collins, without a doubt.
This was actually a therapeutic massage. Like, this is a new thing that they're doing. So Bo was actually saying to this DB, "Hey, great coverage, young man. Love that. Hey, let's go get it again." That's all that was.
Yeah, people are really angry that flag. It's like, dude, there's so many plays in a game. It's like, I go back to all the stupid holding calls, and it's like the bad spot. Notre Dame was due one, and they did it.
Yeah.
Even if it's 15, it's still first down.
Still first
Ball
down.
goes back. You're still at midfield. You're still going to go down in March. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Because that set them up at the what? Well, that was right at midfield, so you're coming back 15. But yeah, I've been okay.
Yeah, the rest were letting things play and whatnot. So I'm sure he heard the other guy say something.
I really think it's because there wasn't that full extension. It was kind of just a boop, boop, boop.
We'll love that. Hey, overall big win. What else is out there?
All right, we got Bill Connolly. We all love the SP plus predictions, whatever. Odds of going 12-0. Notre Dame has the highest in the country per ESPN's Bill Connolly at 21.5%. You got Penn State 13.9, Ohio State 12.1, Georgia 11, Texas 11. YouTube audience can see the rest of it. Tim, what's your reaction to seeing this? You sent this to me, so
I think it's that. Yeah, I saw that earlier because Connolly always throws out good little data points and stuff like that. I found it interesting. Boom, highest in the country to go undefeated now after that win. So it's a mosquito on his back.
There's a
start. But as soon as I saw this, Mike, it was hard to go undefeated.
Yeah.
In the regular season, I went and charted all the way back to the playoffs started in what you're going all the way back to I went back to the undefeated year in 2012. So I started from there. Notre Dame's obviously got 3 of them. Ohio State's got 4. But Notre Dame, Bama, Georgia, Florida State, these are the only programs in the country from 2012 to 23 that have 3 undefeated regular seasons. And Georgia's 3 in a row, for crying out loud. How nuts is that? I did regular seasons. I didn't count conference championship game or anything. I just did regular season, just going into the playoffs undefeated with the regular season. So I found that interesting, and it's hard to do. So Notre Dame's on track. The experience, the old guys, the young guys, all mixing together. Can it be done? man, they're going to be favored. That ESPN had that metric at the end of the A&M game showing how they're going to be favored in every game, the percentage to win. So it's going to be there. You got Louisville in a couple of weeks. I know Florida State. Well, I don't. So much for my prediction that 1993 and 2024 will look the same in November. Holy moly. Florida State, Notre Dame. We are not going to have a part 2 in November, people.
Yeah.
So that is bad football.
I queued this up from early in the show. Richard said FSU has become a totally different game for Notre Dame. Woof. I think it was Greg from Irish Sports Daily tweeted. I want to say it was Greg. And he's like, I'm even giving Georgia Tech some side eye from their game against Florida State. Just how bad Florida State is. Man. I mean, woof.
The Notre Dame fan in me, it's like, exactly. So you see that in early November. You want the memory of 1993. Florida State's coming off a ACC title last year, got robbed and not getting in the playoff. You're like, okay, they're going to be hungry this year. No, the only thing they're hungry for is to get this season over. It's like, what? Yeah. I mean, BC looked like 2017 Notre Dame, just hammering the ball with that offensive line. So, yeah, they're bad. Georgia Tech's Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech barely scraped by to beat FSU. So let's don't make them to beat some world beaters.
Right.
And then obviously going into the Coliseum is always tough. It's always tough. So
yeah. Yeah. I mean, where's this post? Mark says trap game. It's still FSU.
Oh, it's still FSU
7:30. Yeah. So it's definitely not a trap game, but there are, as we go into our next topic here, the AP Top 25 that came out. I mean, 23 and 22 in the AP Top 25, Georgia Tech and Louisville, like teams that can beat you if you crap the bed. And then USC, for all the talk about, pounding the table, Brian Kelly, USC played good. And Tim, when we talked about USC, did I not hype up Miller Moss? Like, and I know he's a SoCal guy. He went to Alemany, right?
Alemany, yep.
He played with
Junior.
Yeah, Junior Tuihalamaka. Yep. I told you guys Miller Moss, and he was a baller.
I've been around.
I thought were pretty good. Don't repeat this. I think Notre Dame could have had him in the 2021 class.
Oh, I know they could have. I know.
But
their coach Clausen even talked about that many times. So,
Clausen, yeah, that's is it a cousin or is
his brother? It's one of
it is his brother. Okay,
yeah.
But yeah, so you still do have 3 ranked teams left on your schedule. Like for all of the should Notre Dame win out? Yes, but they do have USC, Louisville, Georgia Tech, and all beat them if they don't. If they lay an egg, it's not like
and that would be
you're playing a
I mean, before you get to the Coliseum, exactly. If they stub their toe before going to the Coliseum, it will be as much as ESPN is loving them now. They will have giant shows dedicated to Notre Dame losing. So they, the old thing in the media, right? Build you up to tear you down. So they will tear Notre Dame down if they lose to Georgia. 2 years in a row to Louisville. Oh yeah, they'll decimate them.
Any other thoughts about looking at the college football landscape after that week 1? Oregon stunk against Idaho. Michigan, big woof against Fresno State. Miami was impressive. Cam Ward is a hashtag dude. Georgia looks like Georgia. Clemson, old Dabo is struggling out there. I'm trying to think any other. Penn State looked good against West Virginia.
That was a big win.
Texas, Michigan this weekend is going to be awesome. Looking forward to that.
Yes.
Any other thoughts on this?
No, I mean, it's game 1. It's overreaction after game 1. You either stink or you overly hyped, things of that nature. It's like, I mean, even the LSU thing. It's like, I watched some of that game. They look like the vastly better football team, and they just, Brian Kelly and those guys just blew that thing in that fourth quarter. So now we're saying, LSU may go, Feinbaum and those guys. I was watching that, cooking some dinner tonight, fast forward and listening to some of the interviews from some of the media guys. And it's like, oh man, do they go 8-4? They got tons of talent. They could probably be 10-2. So it's like, who knows? But
what
it
were you
is
cooking?
What was I making for the kids? Just some chicken and rice and everything nice. There you go.
There you go.
Getting rolling. No, I think the same teams are there. It's going to come down to like, does Mizzou beat A&M at Kyle Field? Some of these games are going to have, believe it or not, have to go through Kyle Field the way they play. Georgia. They just have athletes everywhere. It's funny, the Georgia offense, man, I need to go chart them. I kid you not, 90% of their passes are 10 yards and less. They dink and dunk everywhere. They just got a guy that could take it 18 yards off of a swing where Notre Dame, loses 2 yards. It's like they got some different cats getting that ball out there. But athletes, Ohio State, I know, struggled early and blew it out. So Ohio State's not going to get tested until they go to Oregon, obviously Texas, Michigan, and just keep rolling, man, once they get into that conference. SC with the big win, but, man, have you seen their schedule? They play, I think, 11 Power 4 teams this year. So
I'm sorry, who was that?
USC. I think Notre Dame will be the 11th out of 12 Power 4 games, while Notre Dame plays 8. So how's their body going to be at the end of the season? So it's going to be some wear and tear with some of these guys. But big win. I mean, we'll just wrap this thing up, right? Still a huge win. I went back just 30 more seconds. I love little stats, especially when Notre Dame wins. Kyle Field, man, since 2010, since Brian Kelly came aboard at Notre Dame, top 10 wins. Beat Nebraska in 10 when they're in the top 10. 2016 beat Tennessee. 2018 beat top 10 LSU. And then three top 10 wins in a row, Mike, coming into this Notre Dame game. Florida in 2020, number 1 Alabama. And then they beat Denbrock and Kelly in 2022 when they were 6. So a lot of top 10 wins in that Kyle Field. And for Notre Dame to come out of there alive is a huge, huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Couple other thoughts for me. The AP Top 25 poll, obviously, that came out this afternoon. Notre Dame moved up from 5 to 7. I think it was Oregon dropped a couple spots, and Notre Dame just leapfrogged Ole Miss for that the number 5 spot. And just all the talk about soft schedule. It's like, do you think is it Notre Dame's fault now that Florida State stinks? Is it?
Or how about Miami?
Miami dropped out. Yeah, what do you?
Drop it because they had other contracts. It's like they screwed that whole thing up. So exactly, Miami is supposed to be on this schedule, which stinks.
Yeah, which would be you have now 4 top 25 teams on your schedule, and then someone just said would be nice if A&M can get back in the top 25. It's going to be difficult. I mean, they're playing the SEC West, but that would be nice. That would be nice as well. So. Tim, fun show. I definitely want to hear from people. I put it in a poll in the live chat, thoughts on the film breakdown portion of the show. I would imagine it doesn't play great on podcast. Let me know. Tweet me, email me, whatever the case may be. But if you're watching on YouTube, please let me know. If you're watching back, I should say, let me know in the comments what you thought about the film breakdown part. Maybe it was you guys liked it, you didn't care, it slowed down the show. We hadn't really. Is there an SEC West now? Is that not what it's called? SEC East and West, right?
No. Everybody, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, everyone got rid of divisions. So they're just playing.
Sleeping under a rock? I guess I don't really care about conferences.
So Georgia, Alabama could play in the regular season. They could play in the SEC championship game. They could play in the semifinal.
They got rid of.
Yeah, they got rid of all that stuff.
Brian New York says film is great. Isn't this the same guy that posted the stupidest thing I've ever seen the other night? Brian, give me a break. I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Anyways, Brian, love you, man. All right, we are we're gonna end the show there. Really appreciate everyone who tuned in to the show. Hit that thumbs up on YouTube if you're not done so yet. We will be live next. Tomorrow night with Jack and Tyler. I'll be live with Kyle Kelly, 10:30 a.m. And then our live show after that will be right after the Northern Illinois game. And then we'll have Goolsby on Sunday. Appreciate you all for watching. And as always, we will catch you next time.